I was just surfing through the website to see the list of films and what blockbuster movies you guys have worked on. KGF, Baghi 3, Rocketry, 83, Uri, Mirzapur, including Manifest, and Dhurandhar. Then you've worked on a lot of international projects and you've worked on a lot of Indian projects as well. So what is that difference between these two, apart from money? धुरंधर के बारे में बात करते हैं. So it was a massive blockbuster. But जब आप लोग काम कर रहे थे, did you have an idea कि this gonna be blockbuster hit?
There were 2 other studios who were working, and those have always been the primary VFX studios.
Correct.
For Dhurandhar. But the announcement teaser was so good, it made a lot of roars. I remember I've been talking to my team about it that काश हम इस पे काम कर रहे होते यार, मूवी बहुत promising लग रही है.
If the audience wants to know कि boss, how does a studio bid for a project? What do they consider? So who's more difficult, the VFX supervisors at times or the directors?
I would say directors.
Okay.
Because
Indian directors or producers giving you references of Hollywood projects. बोला हमको ये चाहिए.
every time.
Every time, right? हर time. Budget नहीं, लेकिन
Every
frame ऐसी चाहिए. कभी ऐसा हुआ कि रिलीज डेट सर पे है बट और कोई प्रोजेक्ट जो यू थॉट कि ये नहीं होगा, मतलब नाम भी गया और प्रोजेक्ट भी गया, ऐसा कभी हुआ है?
I remember Baghi 3. There were around 1500-1600 shots that we were doing. 20 days before the release, we get a call from the production house that
Now, before we talk about business and things like that, you were first an artist, right?
I did do my studies in VFX and animation from MAC itself, but I never worked as an artist in any studio.
Okay.
In fact, when I completed my studies in 2008, there was global recession, so there were no jobs.
True.
So I had to go back to my hometown,
Which is?
Kanpur,
Okay.
Uttar Pradesh. And, spending 2-3 months there, I was, of course, bored. And then I moved to Delhi, wherein I worked at an e-learning company. Of course, I went for an interview. I told them all the softwares that I know. But I also told them that I would not be working on a workstation and creating this content. If you have a job for me, I can produce. I can oversee a team of 10-15 artists and probably get the work done. So they gave me K-12 science
Okay.
as a subject, and they gave me a team of 15 people. And on my day one at job, I was literally a fresher. I was very junior to a lot of artists who were working in the team, but I was managing them.
Okay.
Because I made it very clear कि probably the pipeline that you are using here to create your e-learning content is very different from what I learned. So I think producing would be better for me. So I was technically never an artist.
So the leadership quality was there in you from the beginning.
I guess yes.
When that's hats off. I mean, it's really a courageous thing for a young guy to tell a company कि like मैं काम नहीं करेगा but मैं करवाऊंगा. ठीक है? And I think this is brave, because if you feel you can do it, then why not? So talking about Resonance VFX again, is there anything that differentiates Resonance VFX from the other VFX studios in India?
Makes
and
sense.
what is that?
One strategic differentiation that we always had in mind was when we were hunting for our EP in North America. At that time we were talking to a lot of people in North America, and in their minds these studios were like, there are a lot of studios in Chennai and Hyderabad till today who are only roto-paint match move tracking studios. They're only built on the concept of outsourcing. We wanted to make it very clear that this is not what we want to position ourselves as. When we say we are a creative technology company, the creative keyword has to stay.
Correct.
So we always wanted to be an end-to-end. We always pushed our EPs, to get us work beyond roto-paint and match move. Of course, a lot of roto-paint match move comes to date. But, we were always pushing for sequences. I remember we were talking to Warner Brothers producer for The Sandman season 1. And my EP was not very confident,
Okay.
and they were talking about 600 shots. So he was not very confident whether we'll be able to, do justice or how will we handle this, because, he has his reputation at stake.
Yeah, of course.
I remember I gave him, I had long hours of phone calls with him, giving him confidence that, we want to do this. That's when he arranged this official meeting with the producer of Warner Brothers, and we eventually got the project. So it was Sandman season 1 directly with Warner Brothers. We did around 600 shots, and it was not just roto paint tracking, it was basic comp as well.
Okay.
So that gave him also a lot of confidence, and us also a lot of confidence that we can work directly with a studio like that.
Yeah.
And our credits were shared with ILM and Frame Store, and one of us at that point of time.
Wow.
It was also very big for us.
Then you've worked on a lot of international projects, and you've worked on a lot of Indian projects as well.
Yeah.
So what is that difference between these two, apart from money?
Oh yes, यार अभी भी वो थिएटर में जाओ और वो क्रेडिट्स में अपना नाम देखो,
हाँ.
और आर्टिस्ट जिन्होंने काम किया है वो जब अपना नाम देख के खुश होते हैं, वो शेयर करते हैं लिंक्डइन पे,
हाँ.
वो अपने घर वालों को दिखाते हैं. कई बार उनके घर वालों का फ़ोन आया है, थैंक यू आपने हमारे बच्चों को काम कराया है इस पर.
Oh wow.
दैट इज़ डिफरेंट. मतलब वो फीलिंग अलग है.
हाँ.
Of course, money and all, I mean, we all know ki how different it is
Of course,
than
of
working
course,
on an
हाँ.
international project. But of course, the kick that we get when we see our names in the opening credits of Dhurandhar, for that matter.
Yes.
I remember अभी धुरंधर रिलीज होने के बाद मेरे को मेरे होम टाउन से बहुत कॉल्स आए.
अच्छा, वहाँ से भी आया.
बहुत
हाँ.
कॉल्स आए.
बट ऑल्सो डिसिप्लिन एंड स्ट्रक्चर में भी बहुत डिफरेंस होगा.
बहुत डिफरेंस है. आई वुड से right from the pre-production stage, how international projects are staged is different. But I would like to say that things are changing a lot in India also.
India.
बहुत सारे production houses बहुत ज़्यादा organized हैं. In fact, इतने organized हैं कि मतलब they give you enough time, more than probably what international projects give you sometimes.
Oh wow.
So it's the right mix of people everywhere, I would say. So यहाँ पे भी timelines, क्रंच, एडिट चेंजेस होता है. वहाँ पे भी होता है, ऐसा नहीं होता, हर जगह होता है. बट या यू हैव ऑल काइंड्स ऑफ स्ट्रक्चर्स एवरीवेयर
available. Any projects which you did for international या domestic? धुरंधर का नहीं, धुरंधर तुम हम आएंगे वापस से. That has a backstory which you still remember, or your team continuously keep talking about. अरे वो जो फिल्म किया था या वो जो प्रोजेक्ट किया था, उसमें कुछ इंटरेस्टिंग टॉपिक्स या इंटरेस्टिंग स्टोरीज आए हैं.
यार बहुत सारे आते रहते हैं. नॉट बी एबल टू टेक नेम, बट एक बहुत बड़ी आईपी है जो रिलीज हुई थी अभी जैन में. इट्स एन इंटरनेशनल फीचर फिल्म, गॉट रिलीज इन थिएटर्स इन इंडिया ऑल्सो. उसका एक क्लाइमैक्स सीक्वेंस था. इट वॉज अ फाइट सीन एंड इट वॉज शॉट इन वर्चुअल प्रोडक्शन एट देयर एंड. But the kind of color control that the director wanted and the DOP wanted, he was not getting in DI.
Okay.
And it was a fight scene, climax, full of action, a lot of people, and he wanted us to roto the FG, the entire FG, so that he can get control of the BG in color correction. And he gave us 250 shots and 10 days, and there were no budgets. Because they did all their experimentation, they have exhausted all their budgets, and they were like, this is not what we intended to spend on, so just help us out. We used AI. We tried using AI, of course. AI till date is not very precise when it comes to automation tools, but yeah, it still gives you 50-60% of
that saves
base
a lot of time.
effort, and then you can take on from there. So I think that was one project, not very recent, where everybody, even a DMP artist, was doing roto in my studio. All the composers were doing roto. Of course, all the roto paint people were doing roto. My supervisor also did a few shots.
Time नहीं है तो मैं भी बैठ के
It's a big IP. I wish I could tell you the name, but 250 shots in 10 days. It would be 10 man days each. So I'm talking about around 2,500 man days of work.
Okay.
In 10 days. That was
so Hollywood भी ऐसे कम टाइम में crunch.
That's what I'm saying. It happens. हर जगह होता है. All these challenges can happen anywhere.
Okay.
Very recently, Baghi 4. So we were the primary VFX studio for Baghi 4.
Yeah.
And there were around 1,500-1,600 shots that we were doing. And the release was on 5th of September. 20 days before the release, we get a call from the production house that the edit is changed.
15 days before the release.
20 days before the release.
The edit has changed.
Edit has changed. So we were like, okay, edit change होता है. Frame length ऊपर नीचे हो गया होगा थोड़ा बहुत. But they called us to look at the new edit the next day. And my producer, my supervisor, they went. And when they saw 60% of the movie was take change.
मतलब like
take change, like new shots.
New shots.
Now again, the next 20 days, how it went.
I know, I can imagine.
That was challenging and fun, of course.
So 1500 में से 60% अगर पकड़ें
So we ended up doing what,
Eight.
2400, 2500 shots. Of course,
Overall, because
on 15th of August, our work was not done and dusted, right? We were still working. So we still, whatever was left, we still had to finalize those shots plus the 60% new shots that we got. So you can say the entire movie we worked on again the last
kind
20
of,
days.
yeah. And so when was that last frame which went out of Resonance VFX to the
5th
product?
of September was the release. I remember our last shot went on the 2nd of September.
Okay.
I think, I don't know if we missed the international delivery or not.
हाँ.
Because nowadays they release different films internationally versus
Correct.
India. So international went on the 31st, and I think our last frame for domestic went on the 2nd of September.
September.
Yeah, and we all were working day and night.
But you still didn't work, I guess.
I was there in the studio.
studio,
I
yeah.
was there in the studio because the executive producer, the producer, they used to come. The associate producer is a good friend of mine. They used to come to the studio. Nobody was sleeping, of course. Even if I'm at home, I would not sleep, right? And I would not want to call my team every half an hour to know
Kya
the
ho raha hai,
status. They'll get irritated. So I made it a point. I was in the studio. Of course, not working on the workstation, but yeah.
But managing them is also
giving
big,
them
yeah.
a good boost.
So VFX artist and VFX owners, like जो studio चला था उनका भी life यही है कि उनको भी, do you think they also have to spend sleepless nights? या being an owner, you can जैसे कि तुम लोग संभाल लो, I'm at peace.
मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि यार मेरी टीम काम कर रही है अगर, और इतना डे नाइट कर रही है और इतनी मेहनत कर रही है, तो it's not justified that I sleep at peace.
Yeah.
So it will never come to me. I would spend time with them.
धुरंधर के बारे में बात करते हैं. So it was a massive blockbuster, but जब आप लोग काम कर रहे थे before that, तो did you have an idea कि this movie is going to be a blockbuster hit, or what was that in your mind, in the entire team's mind?
I remember watching the trailer of, not the trailer, the announcement teaser of Dhurandhar. I think it came 6 months before the release of the movie. Then is when we were not working on the movie. There were 2 other studios who were working, and those have always been the primary VFX studios
Correct.
for Dhurandhar. But the announcement teaser was so good, it made a lot of roars. So I remember I've been talking to my team about it, that I wish we'd been working on it. काश हम इस पे काम कर रहे होते यार, बहुत अमेजिंग
Promising लग रहा है.
हाँ, मूवी बहुत प्रॉमिसिंग लग रही है. एंड वन फाइन डे आई रिमेंबर वर्किंग ऑन धर्माज मूवी, एंड द पोस्ट प्रोड्यूसर ऑफ द मूवी मेड मी टॉक टू समबडी. दिस इज प्रॉब्ली 40 days बिफोर द रिलीज ऑफ धुरंधर.
Okay, जब तक अपने पास काम नहीं आया
तब तक हमारे पास कोई काम नहीं था.
40 days before.
We were not doing Dhurandhar till then. 40 days before the release, one of my post producers of an existing movie that we were doing, उसने मुझे रात को 11 साढ़े 11 बजे अपने दोस्त से बात कराई, and he said that there is a sequence that we want you to do because it has just been shot, and the 2 primary VFX
shoot भी 40 दिन पहले ही हुआ
उसके और बाद तक शूट हुआ है.
अच्छा.
The 2 primary VFX studios who are working on it can't take more because they are till here. So I said, why not? Yeah, I mean, we always wanted to work on Dhurandhar. So he sent us the offline. I was like, we discussed the methodologies, how to do it. We discussed numbers, and we closed it. After closing it, he told us कि we have a censor date 6 days from now. And it was,
आप लोग तो रिलीज डेट पकड़ के चल रहे थे.
No, I mean, we do consider censor and the IMAX and international releases, but censor usually 15-20 days पहले होता है, and censor क्वालिटी जो जाती है VFX में, ग्रीन स्क्रीन नहीं दिखनी चाहिए, बाकी सब चल जाता है.
पता लगना चाहिए कि क्या आने वाला है यहाँ पर.
हाँ, करेक्ट. मतलब स्टोरी टेलिंग होनी चाहिए, ग्रीन स्क्रीन ना देखे बाकी सब चल जाता है. बट because it was Dhurandhar, and I think they wanted to show it to somebody very important, and it was not a censor, it was a censor cum screening.
Okay.
So they wanted almost all
High
the
quality.
work in it to be done.
High quality, मतलब proper, मतलब
70% at least of what is to be done. So of course now we've taken the project, right, and we always wanted to work on
that
the project.
sequence had how many shots?
That sequence had 125 shots.
Okay.
And it was CG extension.
Oh, set extensions are
Yeah.
3D, not
yeah,
just 2D
yeah,
comps and
CG set extensions.
all. Okay.
So of course now we've taken the challenge, and of course we were working on other projects also. But we took it on. We delivered the screening cum sensor version in 7-8 days, and then of course we had deliveries every 4 to 5 days because there were 3 trailers that were coming. Then there was the actual sensor version, and while working on that one sequence, we got more. We logged 125 shots, but I think we ended up doing 550 shots in the movie
On the movie.
overall. So a lot kept coming because they were shooting till the end.
Yeah.
It's a long movie. So yeah, it went like that. In that 1 month, we had a lot of micro deliveries. We had work that was, that kept coming in, and we were just delivering. So yeah, 1 month, sleepless nights, but yeah, of course, worth it.
Exactly. कौन से project में sleepless night नहीं था? I think every project.
Many of them,
Oh,
in
yeah.
fact. Family Man, for that matter, last year. Mirzapur season 3. I don't remember the client coming to our office.
Okay.
The entire series was delivered without the EP and the post producer coming to our office. It was that smooth.
That's smooth.
Family Man also.
Why do you think that happens? Is it because pre-planning or?
I guess, OTT releases, they are planned well for all the reasons because they have to do their localization, and I think Amazon, Netflix, they have their rules where they want submission of the masters before,
A certain time.
a certain time of the release. That's why everybody's on toes from the start. They plan it to the T, much more organized and structured
Okay.
than theatrical releases. So I think, yes, that was the reason. But still, a lot of OTT shows also come like that.
Okay. So Dhurandhar ka coming back, you said the time was tight. 2 studios already doing shots of Dhurandhar. They couldn't take it anymore.
Yep.
You had accepted it, but time was very
Yep,
less.
yep.
But वो भी एक challenge accept कर लिया था.
हाँ जी.
And if audience wants to know कि Resonance ने कौन से part of VFX of Dhurandhar has done,
So
if you can just explain.
the Aslam sequence, Sanjay Dutt's entry,
Entry, okay.
where it was depicted as it's shot on a salt desert.
Yeah.
That entire sequence was done by us.
So
that was
उसमें
the
क्या
first
था
sequence that
VFX?
we lost.
Just wanted to
So
know.
the entire extension is VFX.
Okay.
Right? The mountains, the sky.
Okay, it was just shot on a
It
basic.
was shot on a chroma with the contact that was made on set
Inside the studio?
inside the studio.
Inside the studio.
Yeah, inside the studio. So a lot of lighting differentiation also because we want to show it outdoors. So all that. The first sequence that was logged was the Aslam sequence, and as we went on doing that, as I told you, we worked on 300 more shots, 400 more shots probably in that one last month. That was a lot of cleanups. That was a lot of a few blast shots, fire shots, prosthetics, cleanups, green screen, PIPs. So it was a mix of anything and everything that we worked on.
Okay. And what was the toughest shot or sequence in the entire Dhurandhar?
I think trailer में एक shot था. It was the blast shot.
Okay.
Toughest in the sense, it had its challenges because of the timelines. Trailer का edit भी बहुत देर से लॉक हुआ था. ट्रेलर का रिलीज था 2 दिन में, एंड आई रिमेंबर वी वर्कड ऑन अ शॉट, बट देन उसका भी टेक चेंज हो गया था, एंड देन लास्ट डे वी रिसीव्ड अनदर एंड वी हैड टू डू द ब्लास्ट. दैट वाज चैलेंजिंग. अदरवाइज एवरीथिंग एल्स वाज just time crunched, I would say, and not very challenging as a for a VFX studio to
VFX ये हो नहीं रहा.
accomplish. Yeah.
But वो time पे हो नहीं रहा.
Time is always the issue most of the time.
And उसके ऊपर if they give you more shots, you need to plan that as well.
Good thing is that as a policy we say no to what we can't deliver. So whatever kept coming to us was for different departments. Like for example, if a basic comm team can handle a certain sequence of PIPs, if my cleanup team can handle cleanup shots, while we are working on these complex set extension shots, then only we say yes. And it happened like that. It kept coming in a way where different departments were involved.
Yeah.
So that way, I think, it worked out for us.
Just as if the audience wants to know, ki boss, how does a studio bid for a project? What do they consider? things like that, like if they say कि ये multi star film है तो हम सस्ते में करेंगे या इसमें complexity है, which one are more complex and that's why you bid more.
Got it.
I mean, like, just give some ideas about
Nice.
that.
One good thing that has started happening is once, even before the shoot, when breakdowns are created, the producers have started demarcating shots in the breakdown in terms of their complexities.
Correct.
So easy, mid, and hard is the terminology that is used. So, for example, in the breakdown, there are 15 sequences in a movie.
Okay.
They will write the sequence, its description, what they want the VFX studio to do, like the VFX notes. They also mention methodologies right now these days that tell us, this is what they're considering. So, for example, if it's set extension, they will write that we are looking at 2D DMPs.
Okay.
Or we are looking at environment creation in CG. So that helps us, assess our efforts accordingly. And for every sequence, they also write the assumption in terms of number of shots that there will be in the movie. So a very good detailed breakdown comes to us. If it doesn't come to us, then now my team or VFX teams in VFX studios are aligned to create breakdowns like this.
Okay. Based on the script.
Based on the script, yes. And of course, in a lot of discussions with the producers and post-producers. This helps us determine for every sequence what all departments are required. So we take one sequence in the breakdown as one shot.
Okay.
And we assess what all man-days would be required. Roto kitne, paint, comp, tracking, match move. If there is CG, different departments of CG, DMP. And then we break it down like that. Now, if there are 20 shots in the assumption number of shots column, we multiply it by 20.
Okay.
That's how we get a sequence ka assumed cost.
Assumed cost, हाँ.
So this is how we do it. Now, if a lot of times there are creative discussions required, like for example, if there is car chroma, and script में देख के लग रहा है कि it's an action, it's a chase.
Chase.
Or the chase would be, more complex as compared to a normal car drive. So this is what we have to, refer to the script most of the times to see whether this is how complex this can be. Then probably at times we have to talk to the director or the post producer in terms of even if it's a chase, are you talking about crazy camera movements or
the camera is
how is it? So all these things we determine. If there are crazy camera movements, we take it as hard shots. So I think a lot of discussion makes a VFX studio reach an assumed cost even at a breakdown stage.
Correct.
Before the shoot.
Okay.
कि after shoot इतना clean up निकल सकता है.
हाँ वो तो होता ही है because
So we have a column for allowances as well. Now these are assumed costs. इसके basis पे they pitch ahead and after the offline is received, आप मान के चलो rebidding होती है. But of course वो assumed cost के ऊपर नहीं जाए तो अच्छा है.
Correct.
Because mostly नहीं जाता है. Things are planned that way from the start.
Okay. नहीं जाए तो प्रोड्यूसर के लिए अच्छा है.
नहीं जाए तो हमारे लिए अच्छा है. अगर गया तो फिर
अच्छा हाँ गया तो but then you'll अच्छा हाँ yeah from your point of view yes because you've already kind of
yes because they have budgeted for that much amount for VFX. गया तो फिर of course they will not be in a position to give unless they've gone crazy at shoot, right? कुछ sequence का creative ही change हो गया at shoot.
True.
Then of course they understand.
And when things happen like this, like for example, as you said, Baghi 4 में they have changed the shots.
Yep.
So you rebid.
Yes. And they were very considerate there. We told them very clearly that there'll be extra efforts. And of course, they compensated for that.
Okay.
Not everybody does.
Not everybody but does. But things are changing. I think
things are changing.
Bollywood
I mean, they understand the challenges of a VFX studio better now, I would say.
And Dhurandhar mein, as you said, there was nothing. Time was the crunch. But everything was doable.
Yes.
But any particular shot that Resonance is very proud of, like, yeah, this is something that we should use it in our showreel because we've never done this in our past.
I think it was nothing like that we've never done. सब कुछ straightforward ही था. Yeah, the CG extension of Aslam sequence, because we had to get it out in 6 days, was in itself a complete challenge. I think the most complex I have worked on when it comes to QC is a scanline project called Senna. We worked with Netflix on that. They went pixel by pixel. Uske baad Land of Bad. Land of Bad was the quantum of shots that we were doing for Land of Bad were much more as compared to what we were doing in Senna. So that was challenging. Though we got good 4 months for those 450 shots. But yeah, all the forest extensions. I remember there was a shot where they wanted to show a waterfall in the extension. But their actual plate was not looking at all like, there can be a waterfall here.
Okay.
That is one shot that, my supervisor cracked. Of course, he wanted to do it in CG because it's water and simulation. But we didn't have the budget for it also and the time for it also. And the methodology also that the client was suggesting was a 2D extension.
Yeah.
Right from the breakdown. I think we cracked that in a week's time in 2D. The most challenging part was its tracking. But it came out very well. It's there in our showreel as well.
Okay.
I think right from the producer to their DOP, the edit guy, post producer, everybody was blown away with what we could achieve in 2D. They were not expecting that. They were expecting that they will have to probably restrict their camera movements for the shot eventually to get it right.
Yeah.
But they didn't have to do that.
Wow.
So I think that was one good shot that I can remember right now off my mind.
So who's more difficult, the VFX supervisors at times or the directors?
I would say directors.
Okay.
Because a VFX supervisor knows, what's possible and what's not. But the director is working under his vision, and he would want things to happen in a way, even if it's possible or not.
Yeah.
So I think they get a bit more difficult at times. On the other hand, a VFX supervisor would know much more in terms of technicalities than a director. Yeah. VFX technicalities, of course. Sometimes VFX supervisors pinpoint certain things which a director would not even see.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's actually
and any Indian directors very interesting to work with. You've had some stories.
Mirzapur's director Guru.
Okay.
He was fun to work for. I mean, before taking in Mirzapur, we always thought that, that will be one project जिसमें creatively काफी वो सब होगा, fight होगा. क्योंकि one, it's a big IP, both for the producers also and for the OTT also.
Correct.
It has its certain reputation attached and its action end of the day. So creatively काफी मारामारी होगी. But as I said earlier also कि there was one project जिसमें director छोड़ो post producer को office भी नहीं आना पड़ा हमारे. It was that smooth. So whatever conversations we had with him online, he always understood our part of the story. And he gave us freedom in terms of ठीक है आपको जो करना करो, मेरा frame अच्छा लगना चाहिए. So I remember, I mean, if a VFX studio gets its freedom, no, that's the best playground that we can play on.
Yeah. So
yeah, that is memorable for us.
So do you also get some Indian directors or producers giving you references of Hollywood projects? को हमको ये चाहिए.
Every time.
Every time, right? हर time. Budget नहीं, लेकिन frame ऐसी चाहिए. So how do you deal with them? You give them the international budgets.
Of course, we start with a name that it should look its best every shot, but it has to end somewhere, right? And, they also know it. They also understand the restrictions of the entire ecosystem.
Yeah.
So they accept it at their best, I would say. तो चल जाता है. मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि there's nothing bigger than a release date.
And कभी ऐसा हुआ कि release date सर पे है, but और कोई project जो you thought कि ये नहीं होगा, मतलब गया हाथ से and नाम भी गया और project भी गया. ऐसा कभी हुआ है?
Baghi 3 was, I think, one of the first few projects that we worked directly with the production house.
Okay.
It was 2019, 2020, just before COVID. उसमें एक climax sequence था, which had all the action in the world.
Okay.
There were Chinooks, there were planes, there were helicopters, there was a lot of firing, there were blasts, and our Tiger Shroff is doing
everything,
whatever possible. Overall, 200 odd shots and 20-25 days. And the director, Ahmed sir, he was very clear that he wants CG. He understood CG and 2D. And we were only working on the climax sequence. And there was some action in the first half of the film also, which couple of big studios, VFX studios, were working on. Since they took a CG approach, we had to take the CG approach because we were doing climax. So 20-25 days of heavy CG work, 200 odd shots. That was very challenging. And since it was one of our first few direct projects with the production house,
Production house.
we didn't know how to, tackle that. We didn't know that, director himself would come for reviews in our office. I remember we would not probably have a good theater also at that point of time. Getting all our monitors color calibrated just because Ahmed sir is coming to office, or Deepthi, their EP, is coming to office. That phase, 1-2 months, was very challenging, but we came out with flying colors. I remember we were called at the premiere, and Ahmed sir and Sajid sir also congratulated us. But yeah, that gave us a lot of exposure, and I think we worked on multiple Sajid Nadiadwala movies
yeah.
after that.
So how is it working for films and now OTT? Because OTT itself is a different ball game altogether. I've heard that they're professional, they're more sorted
Yep.
than films. But how is it two different things, good way and bad way both?
I think it's a double-edged sword because they have more time. They're more organized in terms of their planning. In the same way, when they have time, the edit changes and the creative changes. Sometimes they take more time than, usual. And for a VFX studio, it's very important that we complete a project within its schedule. Otherwise, it's not good for the finances of a
Yeah.
project. So once that happens, once creative, theatrical में तो क्या release इस date पे है तो release होना ही होना है. OTTs में क्या है, ये submission date है. It's not the release date, right? उस दौरान अगर creative changes हो रहे हैं तो वो होंगे. If it's good for the show, if it's good for the platform,
yeah.
they're bound to happen. But yeah, sometimes a VFX studio takes a hit. But I would say the professional OTT platforms that we have in our country today, they think from all sides. They think for us as well. And I think that's one change which is very positive. They are making sure that, VFX is not considered as the bottom of the food
bottom,
chain. They are giving it its due respect.
OTT also have their own creative team and VFX supervisors.
Yes.
Apart from a VFX supervisor for a film, there is a VFX supervisor and a team sitting in OTT. And there is one VFX lead or supervisor in the studio as well.
Correct.
So are there creative clashes mostly happening, or what challenges are faced at that time?
So we take it in a good way. But yeah, sometimes it gets to a level where it's not, it's not working out.
Yeah.
But ultimately, it's a mix of everything. We have to make it work end of the day. And मुझे लगता है कि in any scenario, like if there are discussions, if there are debates for the good of that ultimate thing that we are aiming to do, it's always healthy.
Yeah.
More the people, more such debates. For sure.
Absolutely, yeah. So how is Resonance VFX coping with AI? So after AI coming in, what would you plan to do with the team strength? Would you increase them or what?
I was reading a very important article a few days back. There is an age-old phenomenon in economy where a lot of economists believe in the lump of labor fallacy.
Okay.
What it means, it's very interesting. What it means is that, those economists, they believe that there is only a definite amount of work in the entire world. If machines come in to eliminate human work, then humans will not have enough work to do. That's an age-old phenomena. A lot of economists, time and again, have proved it wrong. AI automates certain things. It will give us the freedom of creating and telling more stories end of the day. So, काम definite नहीं है, काम indefinite है. World में there is indefinite work
Correct.
that can be done. Yes, we have to evolve ourselves with it. We can't just stay in our shells and say कि नहीं यार, deny the fact that it won't affect us. It will definitely. But I think as human beings are creatures of momentum, I would say no evolution happens unless we are made to go out of our comfort zone, or we go out of our comfort zone on our own.
Yeah.
I think with AI, we'll be forced to go out of our
the
comfort
zone.
zones.
Yeah, absolutely.
And whoever does that, I think काम कम नहीं होगा. मुझे आज तक AI यूज हो रहा है स्टूडियो में, ऑफ कोर्स, एंड आज तक स्ट्रेंथ कम नहीं हुई है. ऐसा नहीं है कि मैं पहले 400 लोग का स्टूडियो था और आज 200 का हो गया हूँ. नथिंग लाइक दैट. प्रोजेक्ट्स बढ़ गए हैं. यस, number of
Exactly.
projects that we are working on have increased.
And deadlines will always keep
Yes,
lowering down, like, squeezing
deadlines
down,
are squeezing. There are more use cases of content right now. It's not just films or OTTs. There are many use cases. हम लोग virtual tours बनाते हैं. हम उसमें VFX कर रहे हैं. हमने जब कंपनी स्टार्ट की थी तब सोचा भी नहीं था कि हम वर्चुअल टूर्स बनाएंगे या VR कंटेंट बनाएंगे, उसमें VFX होगा. आई थिंक एवेन्यूज विल कीप इंक्रीजिंग. हाँ, टीम्स हो सकता है छोटे हो जाएं ऑन अ प्रोजेक्ट, बट आई थिंक ओवरऑल द रिक्वायरमेंट ऑफ वर्कफोर्स that is always going to increase because the economy is ever expanding. Things are not going to shrink.
Yeah. And also, from the last couple of years, our content creation is not just films and television, as you rightly
Yeah.
said. It's in different mediums, different corporates, different industries. Everyone wants to have a part of storytelling in their entire ecosystem,
True that.
which adds to more projects.
Exactly.
Yeah. And secondly, also I feel is individuals can make content now. जो पहले सोचते थे कि प्रोड्यूसर ढूंढो,
Yes.
नहीं होता है.
Yes.
But now they are doing it because of these kind of technologies which are making it more faster.
Exactly. Tech has given freedom in the hands of individuals.
Yeah.
I think that is ever expanding. I think वो globally blast होगा in terms of demand.
Yeah. So what is it that you would see in us, in a young aspiring artist, if somebody wants to join a studio like Resonance? What is it that should be there in that person?
I love this question because I believe that I don't want my freshers or students who are coming to Resonance to be ready from day one.
True.
We want them to be intentful from day one. If there is intent, I think they can do anything and everything. तो मुझे लगता है सॉफ्टवेयर स्किल्स ये सब तो ठीक है यार, इंपॉर्टेंट चीज़ें हैं. दिस इज़ वॉट आई लुक फॉर एनी न्यू हायर. If they're intentful enough, if they have that hunger in them to make it happen, that's the biggest advantage for us.
And learning, like, the urge to learn more and more and more.
Yes, मैं वही कह रहा हूँ, अगर वो ज़ील होगी ना तो वो EQ IQ बैलेंस अपने आप बन जाएगा और वो बंदा सीखता जाएगा, आगे आगे बढ़ता जाएगा.
If a student is watching this episode, he may be from any animation institute or self-learned or whatever, and he wants a job at Resonance or any studio. I'm just taking example of Resonance VFX. What different job opportunities does an individual have who has learned animation, visual effects, and but still doesn't want to just sit on the system and work? Okay.
Nice.
बहुत कुछ हो सकता है.
बहुत कुछ है.
What are the job opportunities for that person?
बहुत कुछ है. I think my team of coordinators is always expanding.
Okay.
Because I believe somebody very wise told me that VFX is easy, communication is difficult.
True.
So and especially when we are working with the clients, sitting overseas,
Yeah.
because they don't know where we are. So coordination becomes a very important aspect at Resonance. We make sure that people joining our production team, of course they join as coordinators first, are very robust. They adapt well, they learn fast, they're not hesitant to communicate. They are allowed to ask as many questions as possible. There is no hierarchy. They can reach out to me anytime. They can reach out to my brother. They can reach out to the vertical heads that we have and ask questions, because I think वो जो connecting the dots, which is very important in a studio now.
True.
There are different streams. There are stream of creative people, then there are people who are making things happen, the producers. So इनके बीच में कनेक्शन बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. तो मुझे लगता है वो कोऑर्डिनेटर्स जो है ना वो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट
Role
पार्ट
play
प्ले
करते
करते
हैं,
हैं, बिकॉज दे आर टॉकिंग टू द आर्टिस्ट्स ऑल्सो ऑन फ्लोर. They are talking to their seniors also. They are talking to leads also. They have access to supervisors also. And of course, there's an entire production team that they have to relay to. Then there is management and leadership that they have to report to. So मुझे लगता है कि a person who doesn't want to sit on a workstation and is a fresher and wants to work at Resonance or any other VFX studio, I think VFX coordinator or a junior account manager in my different verticals
Yeah.
is a very good position to start as.
If Abhyuday has to give a suggestion or an advice to a young and aspiring artist, what would that be?
I would say stay hungry and keep evolving. This looks a bit heavy in terms of an advice, but I think this I'm trying to hit the EQ side of things. It's very important to, if a person is hungry, he will keep learning new things. He will keep evolving. He won't just stay at one end of the entire
Yeah.
system and keep working. We've seen many examples where people have refused to get better. People have refused to learn different softwares, new techniques, and of course they've suffered because of that. So an artist is a creative person. मुझे लगता है कि emotional quotient और intelligence quotient के बीच में जो balancing होती है ना, वो ज़रूरी है. They are artists, but they have to be practical as well when it comes to life.
Okay.
It will help them to look at things logically also, which is important.
Cool. And lastly, if Abhyuday was not into VFX and creative technology, what would he be?
I wanted to be a cricketer.
Oh, is it?
When I was young, I represented my state for under 14 and under 16.
So this is a new side of Abhyuday, which I never knew this.
Yes. So I played under 16 UP and under 14 UP when I was in school.
फिर क्या हुआ?
There was a point where I let go of it. I think I didn't get selected for a camp, under 16 camp, and I had my board exams. As I said, there's a huge difference between a big city and a tier 2, tier 3 cities. Opportunities in a bigger city are ample.
Yeah.
So मुझे लगता है कि something happened and I quit cricket. I always aspired to be a cricketer when I was in school.
So do you still miss playing
Of
cricket?
course,
or you
I
play
do play cricket still.
Ah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
I
nice.
do play. I make sure I play. If I'm not playing a match, I book a net and
Tough, yeah.
I do my net practices. I still do that. I watch all the matches. I'm still a big fan.
So I think we have a very hectic life. I mean, you guys morely because you guys do projects, run studio. Managing 200 people is not easy. The way your team is spending day and night work, you are also doing that. So as an artist, for our people like us, we need some kind of a side hobby which keeps you, it releases your stress, because we have a hectic and stressful life also.
Yeah.
So that is very important, I guess.
100% yes. For me, I think that's cricket.
Yeah.
I look at it from every aspect. I mean, if I want to freshen up my mind, I want to do some stress bursting, I watch a highlight of
cricket.
a Purana match. Every weekend we play for sure.
Okay.
If we don't have a quorum some weekend, I make sure that I book turf and do my nets. For me, that's cricket. We've always been a sports fanatic family. My younger brother, he used to play tennis professionally, and he's played at Nick Bolletry, US.
Oh.
He always wanted to be an aspiring tennis player. But he's in business with me as we speak. So yeah, we come from a family where sports is always taken very seriously.
Which is nice, I think. Yeah, that's also very important.
Yes.
All work and no play makes
Doesn't make
everyone
no fun. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome, Abhyuday. Thank you so much for being here, and it was fun talking to you.
Thank you so much for
And,
having me, Samit.
Yes, this is not the end. We'll do this more and more when
course.
you do some great blockbuster projects.
I would love to.
And it's not just you. We would also want the creative supervisors and team leads
For
from your studio to come and speak on certain aspects of a project, technical stuff, short breakdowns, and educate our audience who are very eagerly and enjoying this show.
No, Samit, I would say I've been following your channel since quite some time now, and you're doing a fabulous job.
Thank you.
I haven't seen a podcast dedicated to our industry.
True.
This is probably the first one and the only one, and the kind of knowledge sharing that is happening through this is very impactful. A lot of things, of course, what we talk about is a gold mine for aspiring people who want to make it big in this industry, and all the people that you've managed to get on the podcast are mind blowing. I mean, kudos to you and the entire team. And all the very best for the future. The future is anyway very bright for you.
Very bright. Thank you so much, Abhyuday, once again, and thanks for the support.
Thank you so much.